The 10 days of awe. So now here's what else I've done, which I have not yet explained to you. We have the fall holy days. Yeshua died in every degree according to the spring holy days or Passover. Every little detail that's mentioned in Passover, you know, from him assembling at the Mary and Martha's place on the 10th day of the first month and being examined, to riding the colt, all these details happened so that we would know he's the Messiah. Passover. The fall holy days are going to represent his coming again. But how? So I just did a little experiment. I know from my studies of the holy days, you don't have to agree with me, that the 8th day feast has the same meaning as the Jubilee year, which is 2045. It has similar teachings. So as an experiment, I said, let's just make a day for a year and have the 8th day represent 2045. That means that 2038 would represent the first day of the Feast of Sukkot. And the 7 days of the Feast of Sukkot are right here. Again, I'm not sure exactly what that means. But 5 days before that brings us to 2033. That represents the Day of Atonement. So if that's the Day of Atonement, then 10 days before that would be 2024. The Feast of Trumpets. And what happens on the Feast of Trumpets? The Messiah is coming. Do I believe that Yeshua is coming on 2024? No. He's coming at the end of the 7th millennium. Do I believe something else is coming on 2024? Yes. Judgment on the world. What do we do during the 10 days of awe? Teshuvah, Teshuvah, Teshuvah. Right? During the 10 days of awe, there's a Shabbat called Shabbat Shuvah. That is represented by the sabbatical year, 2030. That's the year of return. Return, O Israel, return. And bring the Torah scrolls with you. Return. Again, that's in Hosea. So we have 7 years here. Again, this is Revelation, and the plague's coming in. Can I prove that this theory is true? Well, I have a hunch. As it was in the days of Noah, and I don't have the slides here. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the last days. What's that mean? They had homosexuals in Noah's day. No, it doesn't. They were getting married and wedding in Noah's day the same as they are now. Okay, but so what? As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the last days. And if you take your, give me the charts. You all got charts? No, give me all of them, not just the first page. Okay? Yeah. Oh, there's 2 sets. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. If you go back in the chart and you look at the day of Noah, it'll be in the blue section. And in the middle, it'll be the year 33, the 33rd Jubilee year. Noah flood took place in 1656. And you'll notice that that is the 4th year of the 6th sabbatical cycle. The 6th sabbatical cycle, when you compare it to our time now, that would be the 4th year here. As it was in the days of Lot, so shall it be in the last days. So now we just flip over a couple pages and go to the time when Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah are. And that's right here. That's the Jubilee cycle 41. And that's a year before Isaac is born. And that's 2047 after the creation of Adam. That happens to be the 3rd year of the 6th sabbatical cycle. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the last days. As it was in the days of Lot, so shall it be in the last days. Is that what it's talking about, the 6th sabbatical cycle? If we flip over and look at the time of Joseph, which is Jubilee cycle 45 in the orange, the 7 years of plenty and the 7 years of famine, they end in the 3rd year of the 6th sabbatical cycle. But Luke does not say as it was in the days of Joseph. It's just something I noticed. So it's my position, you can disagree with me, that 2033 will be the day that Satan is locked away on the Feast of, or Day of Atonement. 2033, 4 months before the Day of Atonement, will be when the wave offering will take place on Shavuot, when the saints will be raised up at the end of the tribulation to meet him in the sky. And those of us who are alive will be changed, and those who are dead will be raised up. The 3.5-year tribulation begins at Passover in 2030. That's what this represents. And before that, it's the 3.5 years of the two witnesses in 2026. We haven't got to that scripture yet. And we are at 2022, 2023 right now. And we've had something happen in 2020. So, if you can disagree with me, that's fine. That's awesome. Then fit the fall holy days into here, and you only have from 2023 to 2044 to make it fit. I'm showing you a possible scenario, but I'm also the only one, the only ministry telling you about 2020, and I've been doing so since 2005. Okay? I do have a little bit of credit that way. I believe we're about to go into a time of tribulation here where the saints are going to be persecuted. So if we read, I'm off my notes, let me see where I'm going to end up. Judgment, warning, Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets, the final days of repentance. Well, here's something. I'd like to show you this video, but it's not going to work. No, it's not going to work. This is called the giant. So go online, Google the giant. It's a billboard with a moving head and moving arms. I originally thought they might set this up. It's a possibility. They can make it look like anybody in the world. They can put Jeff's picture on there, and Jeff could be this giant. It's you just go in and they take to a picture of you standing in this booth, and next thing you know it's up there. So anybody could do that. It has speakers. It can talk. What's the statue going to do? It's going to speak. I'm not saying this is it. I'm saying this is a possibility. I don't know what it's going to be, but we're looking. So there's one more thing we have not yet shared, and we're going to get to Daniel. Go to Daniel 8, verse 11. Yea, he magnified himself even to the ruler of the host, and the daily, there's the daily again, the daily sacrifice. The word sacrifice is added, so I put a line through it. The daily offering is at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. was taken away by him. I'm suggesting and believe that was in 2020. And the place of the sanctuary was cast down. Okay, so cast down will be at the corner of the altar when it falls into the Azazel Valley. And an army was given to him against the daily. Okay, the prayers of our lips. Because of transgression, and it cast the truth to the ground. The Torah will be thrown to the ground. And it worked, and it succeeded. Then I heard a certain holy one. Here are the two witnesses again. A certain holy one speaking, and another holy one said to that one who spoke, until when shall the vision last concerning the daily, and the transgression that astounds, to give both the sanctuary. Now the word sanctuary is being interpreted to be the temple, but the word can also be the saints. And I believe it's the saints. To give both the saints and the host to be trampled. When you're trampled, that means you're dead. And he said to me, for 2,300 evenings and mornings, then the sanctuary, the saints, shall be vindicated. Remember the word vindicated. And the vision of the evening and morning which was told is true. But you shut up the vision, for it shall be for many days. Now we're going to jump to Revelation 6. And these are the saints underneath the altar. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, when, Master, holy and true, do you not judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth? The word avenge is the Greek word etikio, and it means to vindicate. To vindicate. Who's going to vindicate these people? We were just told the two witnesses will. And from the time that the daily shall be taken away until the desolating abomination set up shall be 2,390 days. 1,290 days. We've already gone through that. That's September 22nd next year. So now we're going to count the 2,300 days from the same starting point, March 11th. And that will bring us, there's a leap year in here, there it is, 24. And that will bring us to 2026, June 28th, 2026. 2,300 mornings and evenings. The 2,300 days start from March 11th, 2020 to June 28th, 2026. This is the period between the persecution that starts with the abomination and ends with the two witnesses. I could be totally wrong on this. We've had people doing this for 2,000 years. Paving the way, making everyone look like a fool. And here come I, now, at the end of this age, trying to do the same thing. I could totally be a fool. But if I'm not, and it's right, are you ready? So if you think the date, I got the date for the abomination wrong, that's great. Put in your own. You still only got 22 years to make it fit. Okay? Whatever theological end time scenario you have has got to fit in these last 22 years. I'm offering you a very plausible theory right now. And I have 2020 to my credit. Since 2005, I've been warning people about 2020. Sword, famine, plague. And I focus on the sword. So I got that part not quite right. If sword breaks out this year in 2023, then I can say I got that part right. I don't want to say I got that part right. I don't want any of this to be right. And at the same time, I want it all to be over with. The birth pains are painful. Just ask the wives, they know. But as soon as the birth pains are over and the baby's on their breast, they forgot all about the pain and they're just loving that baby. That's where we are. These are the birth pains. So, again, you can't deny what happened in 2020. Every church, synagogue, and mosque, temple, no matter what religion, was shut down around the world. So he's now giving you 2 times to count from, or 2 times to count from a specific date. You either count them or don't count. So now here's the part. We know this stuff, so what? Whoop-de-doo. Okay, my religious vanity has just been moved up a higher level. I now know something that no one else knows. No. 2 witnesses are going to say there's no food or no rain for 3.5 years. Right? No rain for 3.5 years. We're already in drought right now, 2022. It's going to continue to get hotter. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you got no food or water? What's the 5th curse?
Eat your kids.
Eat your kids, cannibalism. Okay, so now, these curses I've shown you, they apply. So can you move them all over this way? You might be able to. I don't think you can. Unless those days were cut short, he's cutting those days short by 12 years to 2033. That's when Satan's going to be locked away. That's when the saints will be raised up. Yeah, here's the 5th curse. I was going to try and spare you, but I guess I don't. And if you will not for all this listen to me, but will walk contrary to me, then I will walk contrary to you also in fury, and I, even I, Jehovah, will chastise you 7 times for your sins. And you shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters you shall eat. I don't believe in Jehovah anymore because he's telling me something I don't want to do. And I will destroy your high places. I really don't care about that thing because right now we're having Junior for lunch. I don't care about the high, but I'm more worried about Junior. So you're told to stock up in the sabbatical year. That's right now. If you know what's coming, stock up more. You got 8 years to stock up for. You don't have enough food, no matter what. And here's a little something I'm going to present to you for the first time. We got enough for a few more minutes before another bathroom. Yeah?
Unless you are all ready. Are you guys good, or do you want to keep going?
Let's go.
Okay.
Keep going.
The paraninth. Paraninth. What is a paraninth? It's a Greek word. Okay? It's the friend of the groom. It's the best man. John the Baptist was a paraninth. And John the Baptist came in the spirit of Elijah. Yeshua said as much. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold. Who's making this cry? The paraninth, the best man. He's going out warning the people, the bridegroom's about to come. Go out to meet him. He who has, is this what John the Baptist said when he was asked a question? He who has the bride is the bridegroom. But the friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices. And I apologize, that's me cutting it off, it's not your TV. I just didn't center this properly. Who stands and hears him rejoices greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. Then my joy is fulfilled. He must increase, but I must decrease. John is the friend of the bridegroom. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he will clear the way before me. And Jehovah, whom you seek, shall suddenly appear, suddenly come to his temple, even the angel of the covenant, in whom you delight. Behold, he comes, says Jehovah of hosts. So now we're jumping to Matthew 11, verse 13. For all the prophets in the law prophesied until John. And if you will receive it, this is Elijah who is to come. He who has ears, let him hear. The charts show you, if you understand the sabbatical or the Feast of Trumpets, 2024, this judgment is going to begin. So where are the voices, where are the people, where are the messianic people screaming bloody murder here now, warning the brethren and all the different churches of God and all the Christians that he's coming? There are 10 virgins, right? There are 10 virgins. They're all asleep. Who are the virgins? I used to think the 5 wise were the Hebrew roots, Messianic Church of God people. And the 5 foolish were the Christians who weren't keeping Torah. And my position is changing, and I'm starting to think the 5 wise and the 5 foolish may all be Sabbath keepers and Torah keepers. That means the 5 foolish are amongst us. And they're not going to repent. I hope I'm wrong on that. I'm just sharing my thoughts on it. And that's because I've been thinking about this a lot. So you know this story about the, and while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered. So who's doing the yelling? If I took the lamps and, where is it? And then those who arose trimmed the lamps. At midnight, verse 6. And at midnight there was a cry made. Somebody's got to announce this, that he's coming. Mm-hmm. He's setting dates. Mm-hmm. He's setting dates. Don't believe that guy. He's setting dates.
I have a comment really quick.
2024.
Jenny says that she thinks that the sword or missile attack is probably the jab, since it started in 2020. She thinks that's a sword.
Okay.
Just a comment.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree, but okay. Okay? I don't care what your theology is. You got to make all this fit in the last 22 years here. Because the Jubilee cycles are, a lot of people tried, they don't want to believe in them, but they can't prove them wrong. So again, my challenge is prove all things, prove me wrong if you can. If you can't, then I'll shut up. Nobody has, I'm still talking. So, which of the 5 virgins are you? We're going to find out real soon. He's coming in 2024 to judge the world. And we're about to begin 2023, and we see the rivers around the world dried up. We know it. We can see it. There's something going on. It's not the jab. It's not men in the back room. These are real life events around the world, and we're not, and the Messianic people are missing it because they're so focused on all the wrong stuff. Get focused. The Euphrates River is drying up. What's going to happen? That's in prophecy. When you see the Euphrates, these nations, armies from the east are going to come. We're there. We are there. This is pictures last year. I don't even know if that little bit's left there. They got to go further down to get more water. This is the Tigris. This is Lake Lumaya. I said these things at the beginning. This is the Nile. This is the Colorado. That was taken by me last week. Lake Mead. This is Mississippi. There's the Rio Grande. There's the Amazon River. There's nothing happening. We'll just carry on. Go out next year, keep the 4th of July. Party hard. Nothing's going on. Here's another video, you can go and watch it. So when this drought comes by the 2 witnesses, how many crops are going to fail? From no rain for 3.5 years. It's already failing right now from just 1 year. How great is the economic consequences going to be on your government? Whichever government you are a part of around the world. When the people have no water, no food, what's going to happen? Mass migration, riots. When your hydroelectric dams stop working, you have no air conditioning because it's really hot. Okay? Now, I know you women, you don't have fluctuating temperatures, and the house is already freezing. You ain't going to be able to turn on the air conditioner. And I just wonder how many women will be miserable then. I'm not saying they have anything going on. I didn't say that. How is a common person going to survive this? No food. That should be food, not food.
I don't have any of that already.
That's what happens when you work on this late at night. I was updating this for you. I'm sorry. Okay, no food, or water or electricity. How will the government take care of these huge problems? They can't. They can't. President Biden can't do it. President Trump or President DeSantis, whoever, it doesn't matter who it is. It does not matter. Stop looking at the wrong thing. You've got 3 years now to get ready. You got 3 years. Think back. 3 years ago, what were you doing 3 years ago? I can remember 3 years ago. 3 years. I've been talking about this since 2005. Gone, just like that. I remember warning people at 7 years. You got 7 years to get ready. Gone. It's now here, and I'm saying, nobody wants to hear me anymore. You got enough 3 years to store up enough water. How much water do you need? Okay? Now, I was really restricting myself when I was down in the Philippines, because we, down there, they shower by the Tupelo, and maybe that might be the first time I got the word right. A little bucket you dump in your head. I used 5 gallons per day for shower, toilet. That did not count food. It did not count me watering my animals. It did not count me, I don't know, taking that long, hot shower. You know? No. That's just me. 5 days a week, 365 days a year. How much water is that? Okay? Now, I've been warning you since 2020. No, I've been warning you about 2020 since 2005. I got 2020 right. People don't like to hear people say, I've been telling you, I've been warning you. Okay, so I got videos warning you. I'm on the 700 Club in Asia in 2015 and 2018. They had me recorded there warning them about this coming war that they had, warning about 2020. They've got it. They just had me on there again. I'm now warning about 2023 and 2024. I'm on TV warning people in Asia. I cannot get on TV here in North America. I cannot get on any Hebrew Roots program because I say Jehovah versus Yahweh, or the crescent moon versus the conjunction, or a beard versus no beard, kippa or no kippa, tzitzit in or out, on or off. They got all these different things, and it doesn't matter what I do. I had a beard. Nobody listened to me then either. Right? So I've been warning you, and it's well documented. You've got 1 year to get ready for the abomination. You can do nothing to get ready. Just wait and see if you get that part right. That means you've only got 2 years after that to get ready for the famine. Let's say I'm totally wrong. 2044 is still there. You got time to eat all that extra food you stocked up on. And if prices keep going up, you're going to be saving money by listening to me and stocking up food right now. You're going to be thanking me later. Well, okay, you're wrong about all that stuff, but my food's so much cheaper. I stocked up for food in 2008 for the sabbatical year 2009. I finished the last bit of that food in 2017 or 18. It never went bad. I never got botulism. I never died. I was blessed. So there's only one way to get through this. You cannot stock up enough food, and you cannot stock up enough water. You've got to be obeying Jehovah.
That's right.
You've got to be praying.
That's being a real prepper.
That's being a real prepper. That's awesome. I like that line. You want to be a real prepper? Get on your knees and start praying.
Yeah.
You've got just 3 years to get ready. My God, my Jehovah, made water come out of this rock. We're standing down here, and we're about as big as a pea up here. That rock is 80 feet high. It's split from the top to the bottom. The bottom is still solid rock. It's 20 plus feet thick. Randy and I both climbed inside of it. My God made water come out of that rock to feed an entire nation. You've got just 3 years to get ready. You better burn your knees out and get ready. So if you want the restoration book, that's it. That'll put you on my email list, and you got it. The Abomination is about to be released. That's the end of it. There's something I made up last night for Randy. You are the children of McCurr. James, you had a question.
Well, a comment here is that in Jeremiah, I think, or actually in a couple of different of the prophets, it says that your bread and water will not fail. Your bread and water, which we were just talking about, the manna, maybe.
What's the context of that verse? I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't know the context. So
Well, I'd have to search it out and find it. But
David also says that the saints, he's never seen the saints go hungry. So here's something else, and thank you for bringing that up.
Whether it's seed, baking bread.
Isaiah 33:16.
Isaiah 33:16. Do you want to read it? Read it out loud.
And they are the ones who will dwell on the heights, whose refuge will be the mountain fortress. Their bread will be supplied, and water will not fail them.
They who?
Did not tell me.
So here's, okay, just to follow up on that, go to Revelation 3. Now, we've you know, I've been in the Worldwide Church of God, and then I went on my own, then I went into the United Church of God, and every single Church of God believes that they are the Philadelphia Church of God. Right? Right now, I've been trying to knock on their door and get them to hear this message and warn them. You know, it's not because they don't listen to me, but even when I watch them on TV, every single one of them reminds me of the Laodicean Church of God. They're so full of themselves, they don't know anything. And no one else, other than somebody who's a graduate of Ambassador College or their college, can teach them anything. It's a top-down ministry. And I'm warning you now to tell the people of the churches of God, Herbert Armstrong's remnants, that they are looking more and more like the Laodicean church. But I'm also saying the same thing to the Messianic community, to the Hebrew roots people, or whatever they are, the messed up Messianics. You're looking like the Laodicean people too. Get off your duff and get hot or get cold. But stop sitting there doing nothing. We are told the Philadelphia Church of God has brotherly love. Now, I didn't know this group, and I'm so thankful for Yvette asking me to come here, and I just want to hug her because somebody wanted to know this. That's a hot or cold person. That's a hot person. They want to learn. They're desiring to learn. They're not studying the jab. They're not studying the men in the back room. They're not studying chemtrails. They're not studying bull crap. They're studying Torah. And I don't teach none of that stuff on my, well, I teach Torah on my side. I don't teach none of that other stuff, and I don't allow it in our Midrash. Wake up. The signs are around us. The Philadelphia church, those who have brotherly love, who are willing to risk their lives and go out to people that hate them, like the Messianic community hates me. That's love. And I have a love for you and you to share this with you, to come all the way from Canada on my own dime. You know, my sightedmoon.com people help to sponsor this, but I'm paying for it. And I'm not asking you for money. That's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you, I'm willing to risk everything I got to come out here and tell you. And I've lost my marriage. I've lost my kids in promoting this message. After 40 years of trial with my family, we've just reconciled, but I've passed that test and I'm still teaching this message. I'm not going to let anybody stop me from telling people what's coming. 2020 happened. If 2020 didn't happen, I could have quit. I was wrong, but it happened. The Philadelphia church, the brotherly love church, those who love their brethren, are willing to risk their lives for their brethren. He says they will not face this trial that's coming. He will protect them from that trial. I don't remember the verse right offhand, but you can go look it up. Revelation 3. You guys, you're blessed to be able to hear this message. Okay, that's just Joe Dumont Vanities. No. Tell me someone else. Tell me one of the other Messianic groups, any Messianic teacher. Name one that's teaching you about the sabbatical Jubilee years. And I know a lot of you belong to a certain group. Tell me, is that one teaching you about this? No, they're not. They're teaching you about the Nephilim. Teaching you about Satan. They're teaching all this stuff that's irrelevant to your salvation.
That's exactly right.
It's
What is
irrelevant.
relevant to our salvation.
Yes.
Knowing the day or the hour isn't necessarily relevant. Not as much, at least. It's
Obeying.
what to be doing to get ready for that.
To get ready for it. Obeying Torah
That's right.
and pray and obey. That's the bottom line. Pray and obey. If you want to pray and obey, that's your slogan.
If I know every date and the hour and the moment of his return, and I'm
you're
not
not
ready
obeying.
and being observant, but I can say, see, I told you so
Yep.
on that day,
Yep.
I'm going to be saying it from outside the gate.
And that could be me as well. Solomon was the most righteous man, not the most wisest man who ever lived, and at the end, he screwed up and he's not there. King David screwed up repeatedly, and he was the man after Jehovah's own heart. But even King David was going to be killed, which Nathan told him, you are not going to die today, because he repented. Had he not repented, he would have died.
Yeah.
That's you and me. That's the thief on the tree. He repented. The one did, the other one didn't. That's you and me. You're going to screw up. I'm going to screw up again tomorrow. I hope not tomorrow. Maybe the next day. Maybe I hope not that one either. But
Maybe every day.
every day. But you get on your knees and you pray. I pray. Can I pray?
Please. Yeah. If you would.
I'm done. I'm done my presentation, and we are
Right on.
3 hours and 56 minutes. Man, that's bang on.
If you would, his name is 4 letters and not the 3-letter thing. If you could stick to that, because otherwise we can't.
I say Jehovah.
That's great.
I pray to Jehovah.
Great.
And I'm not changing that for anybody. Okay? Our Father in heaven, our great Creator, our King, who has never been a prince, our King, our Messiah, our Creator. I thank you. I thank you, Father, for allowing me to share this message to the people I've been able to share it to. Some are very interested, some are not. I've asked you to open the doors that you wanted to open. And you have opened this door here to these people I've never heard of before. And you've closed other doors to groups I really wanted to teach it to, but they just don't want to hear it. And I've left that with you. And I'm not going to beg anybody to hear this message. And I'm so honored to be able to share your truths with these people. About the holy days, what they mean, about the sabbatical years and what they mean, and when they are. And I didn't set the times, you did. I'm just explaining when they are. And I thank you, Father, for giving these people the understanding that they can understand what I'm saying. Maybe not every detail, but they understood it mostly. So I ask that you now bless them, Father. Bless them with encouragement. Bless them with courage. Bless them to stand up. I don't care if they're young or they're old. I don't care. You can do anything with anybody. Bless them with the courage to stand up and tell other people in their congregation, in their assemblies, in their friends, in the other assemblies, to spread this word. If they want to say Joe Dumont said, so that if it doesn't work out, Joe Dumont gets the blame, fine, let them do that. But all the glory goes to you if it comes true. Because this is all about you and you're coming back. And I pray, Father, that you help them to understand it, and I pray that you give them a mind that can grasp this stuff, and because they still got to prove it, and it's going to take a while, but help them to prove it quickly. It took me years to figure this out or understand it. Help them to figure it out much faster than that. And I ask your blessing upon each and every one here, Father, and those that are listening and those that they talk to. Bless them so that they can bring more glory to your name in everything that they do. And that name is the one and only name, Jehovah, our King, our Messiah, and our groom. Jehovah. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
So, thank you for having me. And thank you, those of you that are watching. If you have questions, I will take some now. If you think of questions later, admin@sightedmoon.com. I will answer all those questions personally. Maybe not right away because I'm still traveling and driving a lot, but I do answer them all. And if you have the charts, I don't know what Yvette's sent you, but you can get them. We sell them on Amazon. Hint, hint. Go to sightedmoon.com and look in the archives. They're there. They're free. But if you want to pay me, then go to Amazon. You can get them there too. But if I do urge you to print them in color because it helps to understand them. There are footnotes at the bottom of each page explaining what all the colors mean and what the dates mean. And you can double check my math. Math is a pure science. anybody can do it again. And I'm waiting for Jeff. Now you're all watching. Jeff's going to prove this, and he's going to come on here and teach it to you. How long do you need? A couple months?
Or tell y'all to run for your lives.
You don't have time to wait till then, so he's going to teach y'all in a couple months' time, because he now has the tools to do that. And I'll make sure he does. So, again, I thank y'all for watching, and I appreciate being able to joke with you a little bit. Thank you. But it's really not that funny what's coming.
Any other questions from the audience in Zoom land?
Zoom land. I've never been to Zoom land.
Zimbabwe.
We should be able to take some questions audio.
I can't unmute them.
Hold on. We can do it here then.
Jaron Kaufman, did you have a question? No? Okay. Susan?
One.
Gina Marie? Okay. Chris?
I just want to thank you, Brother Joseph, for teaching us, for sharing with us what Jehovah has shown you. And it is overwhelming what's coming. I can't even imagine, because we got head knowledge, but until we walk through this, we're not going to know or understand. But I do just thank you, and I ask Jehovah to bless you abundantly for the sacrifices you've made in your life to study this and now to share it with us.
Thank you. I've been sharing it now for 17 years. So I can almost do it by rote. I do it by PowerPoint, so I don't leave anything out. Oh, Steve, you said something before at the break. What were you going to remind me of?
Revelation 26, verse 21.
Can't be 26.
No, whatever.
There's only 22 chapters.
Okay, we were...
Maybe 16?
No, you said something I forgot to mention. I forgot what it was.
hold on, I got it again. Oh, Leviticus 26, verse 21.
Leviticus 26, yes.
Where it says... Okay, it was 22, verse 22, and says, and send wild beasts among you, which shall bereave you of your children, and I shall cut off your livestock, and make you few in number, and your highways shall be deserted.
Okay, so, yeah. So what I forgot to mention when I was talking about that part was the H1N1, H1N5, the bird flu that came after that, SARS. My wife works in the hospital. She had to deal with SARS up in Toronto. MERS. Ebola, all these different plagues were popping up every other year or every year during that sabbatical cycle. They did not turn into a worldwide plague, but they turned into something that we were constantly watching everywhere. And you just said they're killing here in Texas thousands of chickens because of bird flu. And so it's ongoing. So I forgot to mention that when we're talking about the third curse. So you asked me about that, and that's what I missed or forgot. Get excited. Want to get to the next thing.
I just have a couple more. If you can go back to your last chart where you had the years up, and we go from 23, 26, all the way to 45, 44. Okay, so in Revelation 11, we have the two witnesses showing up, and they're going to prophesy for 1,260 days. So on your timeline, that's 26 to 29, right?
Well,
approximately.
Yeah, but I see in my brain, it goes from the Feast of Trumpets or Atonement to Passover, because they're killed at Passover.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, and then after that...
But hang on, just hang on, Steve.
Okay.
That's the way my brain is saying. But what I've just shown you today is they start here not at atonement or trumpets, but June 26th or June 28th. Okay, that's out of sync with what I should understand, but I'm not changing it to fit my theory. I'm reporting it to you the way it's coming out. What that means, I don't know yet, but June 26th could be Shavuot, depending on if it's a week, Saturday or the Monday for the wave sheet day. I don't know yet. So there's things that I'm still watching that I don't know. My understanding is they're killed at Passover 2030. That's the 3.5 year tribulation start. So 3.5 years before that is trumpets 2026. Now there's some teachers that are teaching right now the tribulation's already begun. It begins here and it ends in 2026. I'm saying, I'm not sure if I would go with that one, but I'm just letting you know.
Okay, now do you view Revelation as thematic or chronological?
Both.
So in Revelation 12, right after 11, right after these two guys die, you have the woman and the dragon, and the woman flees into the wilderness for 1,260 days. So
yes.
Is that along the same timeline, or is
Great
it afterwards?
Question. Okay, so let's, if you pull up that scripture, Revelation 12.
Revelation 12, verse 6.
Yeah.
I got it on my computer over there.
Randy, you got it.
I can put it in here too. Yeah, Revelation 12, 6.
You got it?
12:6.
12:6. I want you to read it.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by Elohim to be nourished there 1,260 days.
1,260 days. The woman flees into the wilderness. So in Isaiah, I don't know, 10, 11, 16, or 13, I forget which chapter, it says that the Moab is to hide the woman, for hide her as a shadow in the night. Okay, and I forget which chapter that's in, but hide her as a shadow in the night. That means make her invisible. Do not turn her over to the destroyer, because he's about to be destroyed. That's in Isaiah. Now, the woman here flees. She does not go into the tribulation. She flees for time and a half time. That's the 3.5 years of the tribulation. And then she's changed here at the end with King David coming out of the grave at the same time. It's Shavuot. So she flees here. So here's a question I have. Read the next verse.
And there came to be fighting in the heaven.
No, we missed one.
No, that's, I just finished 6, which is 260 days, 1,000, and then it says, and verse 7 says, and there came to be fighting in the heaven. Michael and his messengers fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his messengers fought. That's verse 7.
Okay, where's the one where it says the beast, the earth opened up and swallowed the army?
The water.
Huh?
It says the water.
The flood. The flood is the army. The earth opened up and swallowed the flood.
That hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
23.
Is that what?
You just tell me when. It's talking about the same thing. But Isaiah 16:3 is the.
Oh, Isaiah 16:3 is about Moab hiding in the shadow of night. Where's the part that says that the earth is open up and swallow the army? Is that's also in 12?
Revelation 12, 16.
16. Okay. Do you want to read it?
And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed up the river which the dragon had spewed out of his mouth.
And then what happens?
And the dragon was enraged with the woman, and he went to fight with the remnant of her seed, those guarding the commandments of Elohim and possessing the witness of Yeshua Messiah.
Okay. So right now in Israel, when you're told to flee through the valley of Azel. So you flee through where the mountain splits in half. You're supposed to flee through that valley. When you flee through that valley, it brings you out just south of Qumran, right? We're just south of Qumran, but there's a big cliff, so you got to walk down this face to get just around Qumran. That's the Dead Sea. You got to go across the Dead Sea. Isaiah tells you to go across, and at the fords of Arnon, it says go into Moab. In order to do that, you got to turn right. So when you go across the Dead Sea, you're going to walk on it or walk below it. I don't know how he's going to do it, but you're going to go across at the fords of Arnon. You go into Moab. If you go into Ammon, which is going to the left, that's where the army of the east is going to destroy each and every city. So you don't go there. Go into Moab. Now, the earth right now in the last few years, and I've even seen them. In fact, the road going down, Highway 90 going down to the Dead Sea, is just pockmarked full of sinkholes. And they're rerouting the road. There's a resort that you go in the Dead Sea that's sunken, gone, because of these sinkholes. So the earth is already opening up, which is causing, you know, the salt to be washed away by the fresh water, and it's creating a cavity underneath. So it's going to open up and swallow this army, or, you know. But the question I have is what you read there. The beast is furious with the woman who gets away and flees into Moab, is protected by Jehovah. Philadelphia, they will not face this trial. Then the beast goes off to make war with the remnant who keep the commandments, but they did not flee with the woman. Why did they not flee? They keep the commandments, the same as the woman does. Why did they not flee with the woman? Why were they left behind? There's 5 wise, there's 5 foolish. What is the difference here at this point in time? There's no longer going to be a debate about which calendar.
I love it.
There's going to be one person or one group of people at the right time fleeing across the wilderness. The other group who keep a different calendar 30 days later, which calendar? You got to figure that out. I have my own opinion. It's very biased, called sightedmoon.com. The other group is going to show up for Passover 30 days later. When I work out 2030, that will be a year when we have 2 different dates. They're going to show up 30 days later. They keep the commandments. They keep the holy days. Maybe not the Shemitah year. They're going to show up 30 days later, and they're going to be slaughtered. It's important to understand the calendar. Revelation tells you why. He's going to make war with those who keep the commandments, but did not flee with the woman. That's because you showed up a day late. Is it wrong to keep the holy days at the, you know, you're trying, but they're on the wrong day? It's still sin. And if that offends you or you,
That's an interesting point. Why is it still sin?
why is it still sin?
Yeah. What I mean, somebody's trying and doing.
I was a good Catholic boy keeping the holy day Sabbath on Sunday.
You know,
Because the Pope changed it to Sunday, and he had permission because he's got the keys of David. Therefore, I'm putting all my trust in the Pope, the same as all these people are putting their trust in the Sanhedrin. You're not allowed to keep, you know, the crescent moon because the Sanhedrin hasn't approved that yet. That's no different than the Pope.
I've been trying to teach folks that for so many years. Sin is sin.
Sin is sin.
And because of your definition or understanding doesn't change the fact that it's sin.
That's right.
You could be forgiven
2
that
questions.
with, you know, but with absolute repentance and teshuvah, but it's still sin.
Yeah.
Go ahead, James.
Sin, as we all know, is missing the mark,
Yeah.
right?
No.
It doesn't mean, I mean, if you don't hit the center of the X and the center of the bullseye, technically that's a sin.
Okay,
So you may be aiming in the right direction, but still you miss the mark.
Catholics are good Christians. So are Protestants. And they just missed the mark by, what, a couple hours? From Saturday to Sunday?
Right?
They just missed it by that little bit.
Right?
And they've missed the holy days by keeping, you know, Halloween or Thanksgiving instead of Sukkot. they've only missed that by a little bit, and Christmas instead of Feast of Trumpets. It's just off by a little bit.
Excellent segue for the next question from Melissa. She asks, tell us more about how you keep your Shemitah year. What has Yah taught you in your practice about how you really keep it in the way that pleases Him?
Okay, so you don't plant, you don't harvest, you stock up in the 6th year, and in the Shemitah cycle, there's every 3rd and 6th year you give to the widows, which we do. That's another thing. You don't plant, don't harvest, stock up food, forgive debts. I don't like that one. And you read the Torah out loud so everybody in your group, kahal, assembly can hear it. Because we did it. That's in there. I never knew that. And I've been teaching. Where'd that come from? We all stop and read it. Yeah, it's right there. Okay, didn't know that one. No one talks about it. So everyone learns. So don't plant. That's the easy one to do. You just don't plant nothing. But make sure you spread lots of seed just in case it grows by itself. Mm-hmm. That's okay. I did it. Guess what? Nothing grew. Right? I didn't plant it. I just scattered it before.
That's not planting.
No, well, it's not planted. It's scattered. But it still didn't grow because I think the birds ate it when I wasn't looking.